What do you think about Turkey and Technology Summit?
So this is my second time in Turkey, my first time in Istanbul. It's a beautiful city and it's also a beautiful day, so I'm very happy to be here. The summit is incredible. Very large number of people, very excited. It's impressive that you have two ministers giving presentations. That shows how important the meeting is. And I very much enjoyed the CEO's presentation and his concern for the human impact of technology.
Should we be scared of artificial intelligence, and will the robots rule the world?
Should we be afraid of Skynet? Well, one thing we shouldn't be afraid of is machines becoming conscious and deciding that they hate human beings and want to get rid of us. The thing that we need to be concerned about in the long run is that we're making machines that are potentially more powerful than us, that they're capable of making better decisions in the real world, of outthinking human beings, of inventing new technologies that we don't even understand. And so if you're making something more powerful, how do you make sure that it has no power over you? And we have to keep things that way forever. And this is a difficult technical problem, and it's one of the things I'm working on solving right now. So if we solve it, and if we decide to use the solutions, then I think we're in good shape.
So what about Asimov's three robot laws?
So Asimov's laws are written in order to make interesting stories, and the stories are usually about ways in which the robots get around the laws. And I think this is part of the problem. If you try to constrain the behavior of a machine that's intelligent, but the machine has some incentive to get around the laws, it will always find a way. So it's kind of like writing tax law. You know, the companies that have the very, very expensive lawyers always find a way around the tax law and don't pay any taxes. So that approach doesn't really work. What you need to do instead is to make sure that the machines have the right incentive. So it's sort of like making sure that oil companies have an incentive to pay their taxes. And then you don't need any laws, they'll just pay the taxes anyway. So that's what we need for machines. And this is a very difficult problem because we are not able to really write down what it is that we want. And history and mythology are full of examples of people making mistakes. You know, so when you ask the genie for 3 wishes, your third wish is always, please undo the first 2 wishes because I made a mistake, right? And that's precisely the problem. So the solution to that problem is actually to make sure that we do not build machines with fixed objectives, that the machines actually are unsure of what the true objective is. It's their job to find out, but they always remain uncertain about what it is that humans really want. And that way they will behave more cautiously. They will ask permission before they do things, and they will have a conversation with us to make sure that they're behaving the right way.
Thank you for clarifying. So, one of the greatest concerns about artificial intelligence and automation is that they can create employment problems and take over our jobs. So, what can we do in order to keep our jobs?
So I think this is a concern that you should really be asking an economist. My sense is that the jobs that involve repetitive, either physical labor or repetitive mental labor, those jobs are going to go away. Because those are jobs where we've been using humans as robots for thousands of years, and inevitably the robots will be better and cheaper at doing those jobs. But those are not really what human beings should be doing. You know, we have so much more capability than just sitting there pushing a button or digging holes. That's not what human beings are for. So in the long run, the world is going to look very different. Almost all the jobs, everything we call work now is going to be done by machines. But what people will be doing is actually working directly with other people to improve their lives. And we have some jobs like that now: childcare, teaching, coaching, companionship, caring for the elderly, psychiatry, psychotherapy, aromatherapy. So, you know, at the moment, those jobs are not very well paid for the most part. The reason is that we don't have a very good scientific understanding of how to do them well. So we have spent, $1 trillion developing the technology leading to companies like Turkcell and the cell phone, and that has made life better. But we actually need to work more on understanding how each of us can contribute to the lives of others, because we know it's possible for humans to live incredibly rich and inspired and interesting lives, but they need to be helped in order to do that. The last thing we want to do is just feed people entertainment and let them be unemployed. That's not a good solution for our future.
So, last question. What are the lifestyles of early adopters of today? And can we say that they are currently living the future of late adopters?
So let's take the smart home as an example, right? So the idea of the smart home has been around for more than 50 years, that you'll come into your house, the house will turn on the lights automatically, it will adjust the heating, your meal will be ready, and so on and so forth. And this has remained a dream for 50 years because the homes are just not smart enough. They turn the lights off at the wrong time. In the middle, you're having a dinner party and all of a sudden the lights go off, or the heat comes on in the middle of the night for no reason, or all kinds of things. Just because the home is not smart enough. It doesn't really understand what's going on. And so early adopters of this technology have been putting up with poor performance of intelligent systems. So early users of Siri, for example, Siri misunderstands what you want. It's not particularly good at having a conversation. It doesn't really understand your ongoing activities in your life. And I think this is going to change. Applications like Siri, like the smart home, will start to understand our lives enough that they are really useful to us. So they, for example, an application on your cell phone can understand your life by understanding your emails, your conversations. It knows who you have in your family, it knows who you work with, it knows your ongoing activities, your projects at work. And so it can function in some ways like a human personal assistant who is extremely useful to an executive, but very expensive. But this personal assistant, because it's digital, can maybe be 99 cents a month and can really help the lives of everybody. So I think there are going to be technologies that really make life better for people, and we just have to make sure that we prepare for the big changes that are going to come in employment and in the structure of the economy.